Hey there. Today I'm going to unveil this fusion graft of a Trident maple that I created. I feel absolutely terrible, and I needed something to do to keep me active and alert. So rather than me sitting in the house acting all sad and moping, I figured I'd come out here and do something productive. So anyway, a while back I grafted several Trident maple seedlings onto this tree because I put an air layer on it and the air layer didn't take. It started callousing over, and I needed to speed the process up. And so I came back and fused several seedlings onto this. So now I'm opening it up, and we're going to see how this works. It is January 19th, about 1 in the afternoon, and whatever this is, I'm going to take it and plant it nearby in the ground, and then sometimes next month, February, March, I'll come back and dig the stump up. Well, I've got lots of roots here. There are lots of ants in this material. Not good. Okay, this is perfect. And this is wonderful, beautiful. I clipped them down with thumbtacks. So I've got roots here, there's a fusion here. This is suspect. Okay, that's alive. Okay, so I've got 3 Trident seedlings fused into this huge trunk right here. And rather than me messing around with the cameras, just as I get ready to plant this, I'll let you see close up of where the 3 places are that this was fused together. I was going to use my double-bladed pull saw, but like I said, I'm not feeling well at all, so I'm going to use this Sawzall and see if we can get this situation resolved. Should have yelled timber, eh? Well, anyway, we're gonna cobble this video up. Oh, I'm hurt. It's hurt. Anyway, here's one seedling. This is the root coming out of this tree. Here's another. This one isn't so great, but it's still here. So that's two. And here's three. You can see that it's fused in there really well. And this is the root. Once it came out here, the root took off, started producing gangbusters. So I'm not going to mess with it. There may even be roots on here from the original fusion or air layer. But again, I'm not going to monkey with it. So let's see here. Okay, this is the trunk that I'm working on, and as you can see there, across that, or we can do it like that. That's 12 inches on my shoe, like 13 inches. Not a size 13 shoe, but physical size of it. So I'll be cutting out stuff in here and there. I hate losing this material because this is beautiful, really nice for a group planning, you know, to air layer that out or to even fuse it. But since this is I'm going to try to dig it, but what I'll probably do is just cut part of this off and then fuse some of that out while it's in the pot, or even if I put this back in the ground to reset it so that I can start developing the roots, because it's about as large as I really want it anyway to do anything with. So I'll come in here, trim this out. This is going to be the apex. And I'll decide later, but more than likely this will be cut down to a stump about 2 to 3 inches and then regrown. This will likely come out completely, but that's what we have for right now. So let's go around here and see this tree, and it's a whole tree. That's a whole tree. Let me do this. I'm going to try to lay this down so even so I don't damage anything. So you can see from right there all the way that way, and I'll walk it off for you. The fusion right here, that big root, that root is from this tree, and this root is from that tree. You can't see the other on the other side, but you can see the root mass here, which is good enough to sustain this whole tree, which it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so that's about 10 of my paces. That's 20 feet, okay, of tree. So I'm going to come in here and put that in the ground. Okay, let me retrieve the rest of my equipment. Okay. So I've got that staked. And I will add some more ties to it. In fact, I will strap it to that plum tree right there. So there's my other camera. So now you can see the extent of the tree. You can see the roof line of these houses. So, yep, that's about 20 feet of tree with 3 fusion grafts on it, and possibly having its own roots from the air layer. And again, the air layer was not progressing fast enough to give me the root mass I wanted, so I went back and fused in 3 Trident maple seedlings. And that's it for right now. This tree right here, that was an air layer, okay, that I planted there. The hole I just took this out of, I just dug an air layer from it. The trunk on that other plant that I dug from this hole was probably an inch smaller than this, but I cut it back to about I think it was 34 inches, because the box I put it in totaled out 38 inches. So, and this was another air layer that I just cut back, and I've tagged it number 14. So it's on eBay as a stump, and this is a mature plant, so it will start producing seeds just as the other 2, the one that was in that hole and the one back there. Those are mature plants, and so they'll produce seeds, if not this season, next season, if they're treated right. These were the air layers that I did on the large tree. That one plant and this one are the same branches. I had several areas that air layered out on it, so I put the chainsaw on it, divided it up, and now I've got just about a full year on that. The plant in that pot and the plant in the black pot over there. So anyway, that's an air layer that went delayed, did not produce as fast as I wanted it to, and a fusion graft of that Trident maple. So we'll see how that fares in times to come. That tree right there, which I've labeled 13, I'll be digging that up in February sometime, if it doesn't sell by the end of January. So at the end of January, pretty much you didn't see my hand wave, pretty much no more stump digging for me for sale. So during January, I label a bunch of stumps, and then I send them off down the road. These are a number of air layers. These are the small leaf Trident maples, or if you will, I know these to be Taiwanese Trident maple, okay? So that's why I got them labeled, and you can see, well, some places you can see orange tape on them, or the tags, versus the others, because I want to keep these separated from the normal or common Trident maples. But at any rate, This is the stump that I'm working on. I feel bad today, but I don't feel as bad as I did before I started this project. This is a air layer that I did. I had sphagnum moss on this Japanese green maple. I didn't like the roots on it, plus this is a pretty sizable tree also, so I came back, put this pot on with soil, and I did several others that way too. And that's mainly because this was done really late. I got a pretty late start last year on a lot of my air layers, and so I ended up having to carry it over till the next season, and that's what I've done with this. But you can see that trunk there. That is a substantial trunk. So now I've got a choice of the base of that tree, taking this large 4-branch, the largest one here, or the medium one, got the small one, and then the super large, which that is the main part of the trunk. I can create this as a new trunk line and air layer that off, or a good piece of that off, and create a nice little fat shohin, with that being the apex. So I've got choices to make. And again, the only thing I'm going to really consider doing this year is cutting these roots and letting them grow finer roots. And aside from that, that's pretty much it. A lot of Trident maples in here, Japanese green maples, and other things. So that's what I do. And I'm waiting on this little fat stump to give me some back buds so I can cut this. You see, that's really tall. That's about 3.5 feet from the bottom there. So I'm waiting on some substantial back budding because I don't want to lose that stump. And I took that stump right off of this tree, which this was an air layer that I took off of a tree. And you can see the pot there, which has the air layer on it. You can even probably see seeds in that tree. I didn't collect any seeds this season, Trident maple or the green maples, just too busy with other junk. So air layers are pretty much my mainstay for my work. But plenty of seeds on the Trident maples. So anyway, that is my little demonstration for today. I gotta, like I said, get back here and stake this or tie it back some more. I'll get my ladder, get up there. Well, I'll just pull a line from this plum tree over to that tree, and I've got another tree across here that I can pull a line. Oh, I've got cherry blossoms already. Well, how do you do? Hello. Yep, that's just a ornamental cherry. It has little droops on it. They don't amount to beans. I guess they wouldn't if it's a cherry tree. So anyway, I'm happy with the results of my grafting, because it's actually 3 for 3. Though one of the graft is not perfect, as I consider the callusing over, but it's there, it's intact. The seedling is still alive, and I'm good with that. So, oh, and if you are thinking, well, he says one of the seedling isn't that great, how does he know? Well, when you look at the root mass of that seedling as it's fused to the tree, that root mass is a whole lot greater, and the root stem itself is a whole lot larger than the upper portion of the seedlings. So that way I know that the fusion is really good, because now you got a bunch of nutrients surging through that root portion, which is below the graft point, and it's just growing like leaps and bounds. And also, you might have seen that I had that wrapped up in a plastic bag, but the graft itself was not covered up under the soil, okay, because I didn't want to have a lot of moisture in that grafted area. I mean, there's a chance that it will callus over, because the tree is just really growing and trying to contain a wound, okay. So you know, if it's covered over, it's not the end of the world. Also, I sprayed this plant several times with pesticide. I sprayed it with fungicide also, but if you notice at the beginning, I was brushing and trying to get rid of something on my hands or whatever. There were ants in there, just little fine like fire ants, but there were thousands of them. So you have to do diligence, because you get the pest in there, and some pests harbor disease, so you got a dual action there that you're trying to cover. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Hey there. Today I'm going to unveil this fusion graft of a Trident maple that I created. I feel absolutely terrible, and I needed something to do to keep me active and alert. So rather than me sitting in the house acting all sad and moping, I figured I'd come out here and do something productive. So anyway, a while back I grafted several Trident maple seedlings onto this tree, because I put an air layer on it and the air layer didn't take. It started callusing over, and I needed to speed the process up. And so I came back and fused several seedlings onto this. So now I'm opening it up, and we're going to see how this works. It is January 19th, about 1 in the afternoon, and whatever this is, I'm going to take it and plant it nearby in the ground, and then sometimes next month, February, March, I'll come back and dig the stump up. Well, I've got lots of roots here. There are lots of ants in this material. Not good. Okay, this is perfect. And this is wonderful, beautiful. I clipped them down with thumbtacks. So I've got roots here, there's a fusion here. This is suspect. Okay, that's alive. Okay, so I've got 3 Trident seedlings fused into this huge trunk right here. And rather than me messing around with the cameras, just as I get ready to plant this, I'll let you see close up of where the 3 places are that this was fused together. I was going to use my double-bladed pull saw, but like I said, I'm not feeling well at all, so I'm going to use this Sawzall and see if we can get this situation resolved. And that's just a look at basically free material left over. That's an awesome stump there, isn't it? There's still about 20 feet of tree left there. And I'm going to claim some of it, if not all of it. If that tiny branch, and I call it tiny, that's 3/4 of an inch to an inch, if it were coming out of that middle branch, that would have been awesome. Would have been great. But it's on the almost to the base of that cleft on the larger branch or trunk. That's a plum tree, and the Trident is right behind it. And right there is about where you would see the top of that. Anyway, it's starting to get cold now. We're going to hit the 20s in a couple more days. So for these next few nights, we'll be in the mid to low 30s, and then we'll hit the 20s like Sunday night, Monday morning, something like that. But generally speaking, it only lasts for about an hour or two. So we'll see. I've got some tropical plants out. I call that my little dog house. Just an open area under the porch where I access the water. I throw stuff under there that's needing protection, and it's usually pretty good. So anyway, Alexa, tocar gospel música en español.